Guys, I know it's been a long time since anyone has seen me in a video like this, especially on YouTube. And that's basically because I didn't really find the motivation for photography or videography in the last few years. But that all changed when my girlfriend gifted me this AGFA OPTIMA one. It's an old analog 35mm camera, and it actually was a grandma's, and she gifted it to me for my birthday. And through this camera and through this medium of film, I really managed to re-spark my motivation and inspiration that I used to have for photography through film photography. And since then I've bought several other film cameras, and I went on a trip to Turkey last week bringing two of them, an Olympus OM2 SP and an Olympus point and shoot AF10 twin, and I shot 12 rolls there. And I recorded my process on my phone, on my GoPro, and on this camera I'm recording on right now. And it's all a bit chaotically, to be honest, but I'm gonna try to fuse it all into one coherent video here in the studio and just show you how my process changed now that I'm shooting film, and my process in general, and just memories for the trip. This video is mainly actually for me to re-spark my motivation for YouTube as well, so that I can get going on this channel, because I've said this multiple times but I haven't been consistent, and I'm really gonna try to do that starting with this video here. And I really hope that this statement does age well. On day one, I had two things planned. I wanted to walk around the hotel area to scout out the location and just see if there were any interesting scenes right in front of the doorstep. And there were some interesting scenes, but it was midday sun, and I did snap a couple of snapshots, but the images aren't too great, nothing I would consider really worth mentioning. But I found some nice location, and we went back to that later on in the video, so it was definitely worth it. And in the evening we went to a night safari, which basically meant getting in jeeps without any roofs, and it was basically just a jeep with a cage construction on top, and we were able to stand in them, and we drove up the mountainside in Alanya, and we were able to take in the views, watch the sunset, and take photos. But I have to say the tour was a bit rushed and a bit too touristy for my liking, so we didn't have that much time to take pictures. And for those of you who shoot film, you know film is a slow process, and I'm also new to the medium, so I'm not that quick, and I was a bit stressed. So midway through the tour I switched to my digital camera, and I got some nice pictures digitally. But honestly, I wasn't all too happy with that, because I actually wanted to use this trip to exclusively shoot film, and on day one that already didn't work. But I got a couple of nice shots digitally, and also some nice film shots. On day two, we woke up early to basically do a similar tour but throughout the day, and it was a canyon tour. We actually thought we were going on a hike, but we were picked up in this like Ford Transit van with the roof chopped up once again, and there was a cage construction again, and it was basically an open air van. And we drove up a canyon. I actually forgot the name. I'm gonna try to put it up on screen right now. And the drive there was actually really scenic, and I was able to get some shots on film. Again, it was very fast paced, but this time I dedicated myself to actually stick to the film, and I'm pretty happy I did it, because I do have some pretty nice results even shooting out of the car. And this canyon was really nice, and the scenes were so beautiful. But unfortunately, whilst at the point where we actually arrived at the canyon, I wanted to load another roll of film, but stupidly I hadn't packed enough. I miscounted, and I didn't have any film left to shoot the canyon itself. But honestly, I'm not too mad, because the other images really turned out great. And after that, because we finished around midday, so we had time in the evening, I went back to the spots that I scouted on day one, and I used the golden hour, took some pictures, and I'm honestly really happy with how they turned out. So I'm happy that I was able to really use the full day for film photography. I just left the hotel, walking around the spots I scouted on the first day, or just a couple days back, when it was midday sun. And now we have a nice golden hour going on. The sun is just coming out from those clouds behind there. I brought my Olympus AF10 twin with me, just a quick point and shoot film camera. Excited to see what I can get. The scenes do look pretty nice, and the light is pretty nice, so just no pressure, just for fun, snapping a couple of pics. Guys, I'm literally walking past the mall and I just found this castle, like old ruin of a castle. So I'm gonna walk up there and check it out. This looks so sick, dang. Holy shit, and this as well, holy shit. This looks so good. Coming on to day 3, it was kind of a rest day for us, but we actually went to the city, took the taxi to Alanya, which is about a half an hour drive from our hotel, and I decided to do some street photography on film, which I have never done before, which usually also is a quite fast-paced style of photography, so that was challenging, but I had a lot of fun, and I snapped a GoPro onto my cap right here, and I tried to record a bit of POV style video for you guys, and I was really happy with the results because I really did get super cool images, and I actually got the courage to ask people for their street portraits, which I've never done before. Maybe it was easier because I was in a different country and nobody knew me, so I'm really proud of myself for doing that. But later in the evening I had to switch to digital again, unfortunately, because the highest ISO film I had brought on the trip was ISO 400, and that isn't really suitable for street photography when it starts to get dark, when you need fast shutter speeds and things like that. So I switched, but I did get some really nice shots on digital, which I'm going to show you as well. And all in all, this was another great day of shooting. Day 5 was a bit hectic because we had to get up at 4 AM in the morning because we were going to be picked up by a bus to go to a boat tour. Basically, we're going to visit this island. I hope I'm going to pronounce it right. I think it's called Suluada or Saluada Island. I'm not sure. I'm going to put up the name on screen again. And we had a four and a half hour transfer to the islands. So we were in this bus for a really long time, and I actually took some really nice pictures on the bus with my iPhone and with the film camera, but I honestly think that the iPhone shots turned out better, which is a bit surprising. And we went on this boat tour, and at this point, honestly the scenes, they were very beautiful, but I didn't take that many pictures because I wanted one day to myself just to enjoy the experience and being there with my brothers, so I didn't take that many pictures. Also, the sun was quite harsh, so that also meant that I didn't really feel the need to take that many pictures. Also, after we took that 4-hour transfer back, we ended the day at the beach near our hotel and took some portraits with the point and shoot camera, with flashes and without the flash. And honestly, those turned out really nice. They are nothing to put in like a photo book or in any, it's not considered basically my work, but it's just some nice memories that I have with my brothers now, and some nice portraits we can maybe use on Instagram, stuff like that. It's just a cool bonding and photo shooting session with my brothers. Our final day was spent going back to the locations that we actually passed by during the night safari on day 1, but because everything was so quick, I immediately knew on day 1 I wanted to come back here because the views were absolutely insane, but we just didn't have the time and the light was already fleeting, so I knew I had to come back. And we came back on our final day, and honestly we met these Turkish kids, and we just I had the best time with them. He was riding his bike, showing us tricks. And then we started playing soccer together with them, in using like a bus stop as a goal. So this was a really, really authentic experience, and probably the highlight of a trip. And also the sun was just perfect, the light was perfect, and we had this crispy, creamy golden hour light, and it was just superb conditions, and the views obviously insane. And I actually did vlog quite a bit of this part of the video, so I'm gonna let myself in Turkey narrate that part. But honestly, this was probably my favorite day of photography in Turkey. It was definitely worth it coming back up here again, because even though we were here on day one with night safari, bro, where's my hair going? Even though we were here on day one with the night safari, it was just all way too quick, and we were just passing by everything with the car, so I barely had moments to take pictures on film. So I had to switch to digital, sadly, and we were also too late because the sun was already across the horizon when we arrived at this spot, so the light wasn't really ideal anymore. It was a nice sunset, but it was just too late for golden hour pictures. So now we're currently enjoying the light and the scenes. Even though there's a lot of trash, the city is extremely beautiful. And my brothers are behind there. We are drenched in sweat, that's why we can't wear our shirts anymore. And we're just enjoying the views, snapping a couple pictures on film. Right now, Kodak Gold 200. And it's just a lovely way to spend our evening.
Pace myself, we're running out of space right now, and I've been trying to make myself not let you know it's been like
one of those 2000s.
And we try so hard, locked in the car. What's yours, what's ours? I guess that we wanted different things.
Just a little update, I'm walking back to the hotel towards the beach to meet my brothers there to watch the rest of this beautiful sunset, absolutely beautiful sunset. I loaded up a new roll of Kodak Gold, but I only took 4 shots because it's just a little bit too dark. I'm shooting everything at 100 ISO to overexpose by one stop. So even though the lighting conditions are really, really nice, it's a bit too dark. I have a tripod in my backpack, but bro, I'm done. I'm just gonna walk back, enjoy the rest of the views, and put away the camera for a little bit and just enjoy it. Bro, look at this. This is crazy. That's it for today's video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I honestly have to say I really love making these videos, even though I haven't done that in the past 2 years or so. I just really didn't feel the motivation and the need to make the time to create these videos. They do take a long time because I'm also not the most proficient in videography, so I have to take a lot of time to create these videos. But I'm really happy that I did record so much in Turkey and that I have all the snippets that I can use for this video. And I hope that with this newly found medium, which is film photography for me, I'll be able to keep this motivation going, and I'll be able to keep uploading to this channel consistently and maybe even revive it. But with that being said, I'm going to show you a couple of favorites that I took on this trip, and I'm just going to put some music on in the background so you can just really enjoy the visuals. Anyways, that's it from me, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I really would appreciate if I could see some of you in the next video.